Hello, beautiful and amazing people. Welcome to day 4 of the Wealthy Trustee Workshop. So we have a lot planned for today. We're going to be doing EINs and we're going to be doing board meetings. So how is everybody? Hi, Ruth. Hi, Patricia. Hi, Dion. Hi, Terry. Hi, Donna. Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Keisha. Hi, David. Hi, Tiyankwa. How is everybody?
Hello, good.
All right, perfect. All right, good. So how's everything going with the trust so far? Everybody got their trust set up? Any questions, comments, concerns?
Not yet. I had a question about the private family trust. I know that it's been mentioned you should not have your cars in the same trust as your house, so you would set up both of them pretty much the same.
Yeah, so I would just pretty much copy it and put a different name.
Okay. And so my family, like my parents and my sisters, they're like listen to me, but don't listen to me. I think they're just like they don't want to get started with the process themselves, whatever, and then I don't know, they're like, oh yeah, like we'll see how you do it, blah blah. So to help them though, like we all have old cars that just get us from point A to point B. Does it matter if I just throw all the cars into one trust?
I mean, if you want to isolate it that way for simplicity, you can just have, one trust that's designated for cars, one trust that's designated for houses, things like that. The best practice is to have, one trust per asset. I know that sometimes is not as realistic as we would like it to be. So it would be best just because of, liability purposes, right? Just think about if somebody gets into a car crash and then they sue that trust, there's 2 other cars or 3 other cars in that trust.
Yeah,
So
there's not much value in any of them though. They're all less than $5,000.
yeah. Well, so if you think about it that way, then and if you're not worried about taking that risk, then yeah,
Mhm.
you can do it if you want it to be a more simple process for you.
Okay, and also, um, so you said the beneficiaries do not hold any like managing or whatever, like a trustee position, but whenever um like I guess basically say if my mom is a trustee and I'm a beneficiary, and then like when she passes, how does the beneficiary then like become the trustee, or they have to set up their own trust and transfer?
So she would have to list you as the successor.
Ah, okay.
And then you would become the trustee, and you can still maintain your position as a beneficiary, but you can't be the only beneficiary. So there has to be at least one other person as a beneficiary in order for you to be the successor.
Okay, and then you
I'm sorry,
so you
you were breaking up, Stephanie.
hello?
Yeah, you broke up.
Okay, so
I cannot hear you.
I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on with my laptop. So then once the successorship like goes into place, would you no longer be a beneficiary and become the trustee?
So yeah, that would be up to you. So if you wanted to be the successor and you wanted to relinquish your position as the beneficiary, you can do that. Or you can maintain both positions.
Oh. Mm. So but the successor is a successor to the trustee, but the beneficiary can never be the trustee, but they can be a successor and remain a successor forever.
I mean, yeah, not forever, but a trustee can be a beneficiary.
Oh.
They
Oh my.
just cannot be the only beneficiary.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You have to have other people listed as the beneficiaries.
Okay. And also, my parents are like 55-ish, and I don't think they really want to take the time to learn anything at all. So, I mean, she's like interested, but I don't see them actually putting everything into place themselves. So if I do it all for them, I mean, I guess then that's her choice, but is there any conflict that could be within that?
If you set it up for them,
Yeah, like,
I
yeah.
mean, like if you're like manually typing in their stuff, I don't see the problem.
Okay. Alrighty.
All right, perfect. So we're gonna get started. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we are gonna apply for the EIN for our business trust. So you guys can go to the irs.gov website and allow me to share my screen here. Let's see.
Business under the business trust. So that's why I was saying, do you need to close the existing business account? Because now your business is up under the business trust.
So, are you dissolving the business? If you're not dissolving the business, then the business is still going to operate and it still needs a bank account, even though the owner of the business is now a trust.
Okay.
So is that what you're doing? Are you going to dissolve it or you're going to continue to operate the business?
Continue to operate.
Yeah, so you still need a business bank account because it's still separate, right? So the business is operating and those funds are going to go to, if it's an LLC, then those funds are going to go to the bank account for the LLC. They're not going to go into the trust bank account. They're going to go into the bank account from the LLC, and then you're going to do a transfer from there. You're going to do a disbursement, but they need to go into their respective account first.
Okay.
So that's why you want to not bank with the same institution, because you want to avoid commingling funds.
Makes sense
Because
now.
it's super easy to do that.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. It makes sense now. Thank you.
You're so welcome, Keisha. You're welcome. So did everybody set up did everybody do their 3 board meetings? Let's see, can't see your screen, and I cannot see your screen.
Would you recommend to like just print a bunch of these with like blanks to just hand write at a convenient time, or?
Yeah, that's also that's preference. So it's up to you if you want to handwrite it versus typing it on a computer. So like for me, it's just easy for me to, type it up and then do make copies and stuff. And sometimes I'll save like a version of it, and then I can just go in there and switch out a date and a name, and then boom, my meeting is done. So sometimes I can do a meeting in like 2 minutes.
Okay, so and also that was like the board meeting for, this stuff right now, but when we physically go to the bank, does that count? Should I like take note of the time I go in and the time I get out? And
No,
no?
you don't. Yeah, you don't have to. So you're just going to only document the things that you intend on doing, right? But you don't have to document, you don't have to document like every single action, right? So if you, go and pay a bill, right, for the trust, let's just say that you go and pay a light bill. You don't have to go have a board meeting saying I paid the light bill. That's a part of operations. So that's standard. And so when you're doing major things like opening up accounts or closing accounts, those are things that are significant. If you're buying a house or selling a house, those things are significant. Or if you're making any amendments or changes to the bylaws, then that's significant. But if it has to deal with with the day-to-day operations and not with like, liquidating assets or anything like that, then you don't have to document those small things.
Okay, that actually reminded me of another question that I have. So irrevocable means it's like non-changeable, right? And that makes it more like not pierceable in court. But if we are still allowed to make changes, one question I have is, do we have to get like the new version notarized every time? And two, how is it that we're allowed to make changes if initially it's when you kind of get my question? I don't know
Yeah,
if I'm
I
explaining
do.
it. So
Yeah,
okay.
you have two questions. So the first one is about irrevocability.
Mhm.
So remember that this is a contract between three people, right? It is an irrevocable contract, but it's only irrevocable to one party out of the three. So the one party is the grantor. That's why you don't want to be the grantor, because the grantor has the irrevocability, because the grantor is the only one who created the trust. The trustee did not create the trust. The beneficiaries did not create the trust. So the only person who has irrevocability is the person who created the trust. And that's why on paper, excuse me, guys. That's why on the contract, you don't want to be the grantor. So you as the trustee, you're the one that's operating the trust. If you need to make changes, changes are going to be made. Right? Because if you as the trustee are not able to make changes, then you won't be able to manage the trust properly. You won't be able to have the flexibility that you need, you know, if you needed to liquidate a property, or if you needed to, you know, prevent a loss from happening, things like that. So the trustee can make any and every change. So if you are the trustee, yes, you can make changes. If you are the grantor, then no, you cannot. So you have to, you know, determine what position you want to be within this trust contract. So I recommend that you be the trustee and not the grantor.
So the changes then are like for business and moving things around or making decisions or whatever. But like the laws that are like there, like, are those also changeable? Like
Yeah.
if to begin with you said, I don't know, never buy in Arizona, but then you can just go change it and say, okay, yes, you can buy in Arizona. Like that stuff like that is changeable also.
Yes, you can.
Oh, okay. And
I don't
also with each change that you make, do you need to have it re-notarized?
Yeah, so you don't. Yeah, that was another one of your questions. So when you're doing amendments, all you're going to do is you're going to have a board meeting about it, just like how we just had a board meeting. And then in that board meeting, you are going to state the change, right? So if it's like, you know, Article 17, where we're talking about the number of trustees, and it was previously stated as we only needed a minimum of one trustee, but now the new changes are that we are going to require a number of two trustees. And then you sign and you add it to the trust, right? So that is the amendment, and it's in the meetings. And so when it goes, so you don't have to physically change it in the contract. So what you would do, it would just stay in the meeting minutes. But what you would do is once the trust is due to be renewed, then you can reinstate the trust by adding all of the amendments into it. So now you can actually create an updated version of it, which is a reinstated version of it. And you can add all of the amendments. So if you had 57 amendments in the last 100 years, then all 57 amendments, you can add it into the trust, and then you would know, you can notarize the new trust, which is a reinstated version of the trust.
Okay.
I don't know if you had another question, but I think I answered all of them.
Yeah, that was all those questions. I have like a EIN related one, but we don't have to do it now. You don't want to move on.
Okay.
Hi, Christina.
Hey,
Jen.
Hey, Jen.
I was about 30 minutes late, but I'm going to wait and table questions about what I missed and just watch the replay. But you did just ask the question, if I heard you correctly, did we set up the 3 board meetings? Was
Yeah.
that, okay, do you mean on paper or do you mean, did we have them?
Oh, did you set it up like, did you just document it? Like we just documented it together?
Okay, no, I missed that. So that's where the replay will come in, I guess.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So you physically have it, you got it in your email, right?
Yes, I do have the document. I pulled it up and I said, I think this is what she's referring to. It's the minutes, right? First board, second board, and third board meeting.
Yes.
Okay. So I'll table that then and watch the replay.
Okay.
But I was going to give you a call today and I figured I'd wait for this meeting. I ran into a snag with the virtual mailbox. I didn't know that you have to have it notarized before you can even begin getting mail. So I have the form here and I'm going to take that to my bank, I guess tomorrow, and get it notarized. But I did purchase the membership. So I have a yearly. Since I have the virtual mailbox set up and I have the address, can I take that information and go ahead and apply for the EIN? Even though I'm waiting to get this form, I think it's 1583 notarized.
So, I mean, it's definitely optional, but I would tell you to wait until they process your paperwork.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. If I
Yeah.
should wait because I'm already waiting, but I was thinking, I know I can't do more than one EIN per day.
Right.
So
Yeah.
we did the first one yesterday. Are you doing one tonight? The second
Yeah.
one?
Yeah, we did it. We did it already.
Oh, good, you did it already. Okay.
Yeah. We did it already, and the process is a little bit different. So it's not the same as the ministry. So we're gonna do one again tomorrow and it's identical. So for the business trust and the family trust, the process is identical.
Okay, and even if I miss it, I'm good with following along on the replay.
Okay.
It's on the replay, but
Yeah.
tomorrow, that's good to know that you're gonna do the exact same thing.
Yes.
Can I ask you a question about this form 1583? Is it considered a business, what I'm doing? Because on the form, it's asking me for my name, my home address, which I gave, but it's asking me the name of the firm or corporation.
Yeah.
So is the trust is a corporation, correct?
So the trust is an entity, just like a corporation is an entity. So I definitely consider it as business, just like, for example, your family, right? We're conducting our family or we need to be conducting our family like a business. Your family is a business. So there's nothing personal about it. Everything is business.
Okay, so I need to correct that because one of the questions was, is this for a business? Do I need the virtual mailbox for a business?
Yeah, so
And I should say yes.
Yeah, you should consider it that way.
Okay, so when it asks for the name of the firm or corporation, I'm listing the ministry trust?
The name of the entity.
But there's going to be 3 different names, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's 3 different names. Yeah.
Right.
So
So
you're going to use the same address for all 3?
yes. I'm going to use that virtual mailbox for all 3. But this, for the virtual mailbox, I have to complete this form 1583. Am I supposed to complete 3 of them?
So typically with those virtual addresses, what you can do is you can just name one entity and then they ask you any additional people. So for example, if I'm like the president of the corporation, right? But then my vice president needs to receive mail, my what are the other positions? My COO, my CFO, all of them need to receive mail. I'm going to give all 4 names. So you can give multiple names.
I can give multiple names, but I can start out listing the ministry.
Yeah, you put one entity and then you list the other additional names. What company are you using?
iPostal.
Okay.
Because I can't believe it's literally 2 roads from my house.
Okay, that's awesome.
I was happy to see that. So I was like, oh, I'll go with them. And the price is comparable to the other one that you gave me, which I really liked, but they're not in New Jersey. I would have to travel.
Oh,
I
yeah.
did iPostal too, and I think they said they do virtual notarization or something. Like
Well,
they
here's the
say,
thing. They do the virtual and it's $25. And I called
oh
them and they said if I went to my bank, it's free. And
oh,
here's
yeah.
the thing, if anyone that's doing iPostal, I just found this out today, that form 1583 is going to be updated July, I think she said July 9th.
Ah,
And anything I do today on this form 1583, I'm going to have to re-notarize it and fill out this form all over again.
Wow.
And she said that's for everyone. So she said, if I were you, I'd wait until July 9th. So that's another thing that's putting me back. She said, you can go ahead and fill it out today, but you're going to have to fill it out again and get it re-notarized on July 9th because the USPS Postal Service has changed the form and they're updating it. So now I'm waiting until July 9th.
Oh,
Christina, I have a question.
yes.
Just to piggyback off of what she's talking about with the 1583 form. Is that standard also for true virtual addresses? Like the one with the actual address and not a UPS box?
Mm-hmm.
So we
Yeah.
still have to fill out a 1583 form for those also?
It depends on the company. It depends on the company.
Okay, because I know a lot of things are changing with the banks with like funding and credit and stuff for the businesses. And they're no longer using, I mean, they're basically hip to like the UPS boxes and iPostal. They're actually requiring the virtual addresses. The actual address, the actual address is that have a physical building that you can walk into.
Yeah.
And not just a mailbox.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I kind of just wanted to put that out there because I did use iPostal. And if you look very carefully on iPostal, the cheaper one is just the box. And then they also offer actual virtual addresses. So I know I ran into trouble when I tried to open up my account for one of my LLCs and I had an iPostal account. And I basically just had to go back to the drawing board. So I just kind of wanted to put that out there for everyone who's starting out.
Yeah, that's good to know because I picked the first plan also, but it gave me a physical address, but it doesn't hurt to just confirm and make sure that that is a physical address. For me, that's good to know.
What
Mhm.
company are you with now that you left iPostal?
Is that question to me?
Yes.
To me, Rachel. I just never even opened it up for my LLC because I was gonna go with Alliance,
Mm-hmm.
but I just never opened up that bank account. I had some other functioning bank accounts, so I just kind of put it on the back burner. And then I was currently using one of my actual physical addresses from a lawyer and a CPA. It's an actual address. So I'm probably going to go back and ask them, can I just use that address for the LLC I was trying to set up?
Oh,
Mhm.
I managed to get speak to an assistant on iPostal or whatever they're called, and
Customer support.
a building. And so I got a couple of addresses, did a Google search, and found a business, a building with several an office building, sorry, and was able to pick that so it could look more legitimate, as an office space.
all right, guys. So it looks like we have a whole hour left. So what I want to do is I want to dive into briefly talking about building credit for your trust. And then from there, if we have any questions, we'll go through that and then we'll wrap it up for the evening. And then tomorrow we're going to be talking about infinite banking and transferring your assets. Okay. So address, phone number, website, corporate email. That is what's going to make you look credible. That's what's going to make you look fundable, so that you're able to effectively build out your credit profiles, so that you can effectively have that paydex score, have it be within that 80 to 100 range, so that you can qualify for the Visas and the MasterCards, and use that as a way to fund any of your passive income streams for the trust. That's primarily why we're doing this. We want the trust to be able to fund itself, okay? We want the trust to be able to generate its own income. And the way that we're going to do that is by leveraging trust corporate credit, okay? So do I have any questions as far as what we just did, which was to establish a credit profile?
I do have a question. So the trust is like named whatever we decided to name it. But then when we make a business, do you then have to, like, your business will be owned by your trust? And so do we have to repeat the entire process with whatever the new business is, or is the trust the business?
Oh, so it depends on how you decide that you want to operate it. You can do both. Okay. I do both. So I have a business trust that I just operate business, straight business. And then I have another business trust where it's just a holding company. It does not operate. It just holds other companies, other subsidiaries, which are the LLCs and the S corporations. So what is your strategy? It's unique to you. So if you have an LLC, then you are going to be establishing your business trust to hold that LLC. So your business trust is not going to operate, which is completely fine. And so then you would be establishing it like how we just did, as a holding company with that SIC code. But let's just say that you have a business trust and you're conducting business. Let's just say you have an e-com company. Then your SIC code is going to be different, because now you're going to be, putting retail or, something in alignment with you having an e-com company. So you can do both.
Okay.
All right. Do I have any other questions?
Yes.
All
Can you
right.
hear me?
Is this Nancy? Yes.
It is. Hey.
Nancy.
Yeah, okay. So I have a DUNS number and I have that in my personal, but is it possible that I could transfer it over to put it under the trust, or I gotta start all over?
No, you need, so just like how you have a social security and it's personal, you need a separate DUNS number, these are all 9-digit numbers, and it's
That's
no
right.
coincidence. So every single entity needs its own number. So you need to apply for a DUNS number for that specific entity.
Mhm. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome, Nancy.
And one more question.
Yes.
Is there a timeline for us to do all of this, or you think, is there like a timeline you want us to do all of this, or whenever?
So, I mean, it's up to your schedule. So like, how quick do you want to, generate passive income for your trust?
Yeah, that's true. It's just that I don't have all the
things. Yeah, I know.
Right.
So just wait, right? Don't rush. Don't rush.
Okay.
So one, I am fully aware that majority of the people on the call did not even notarize their trust. So there is steps that we are going to have to take, right? So you do have to notarize your trust, then you get your EIN, and then your legal, and then you get your virtual address, you get your corporate email, your corporate phone number, and then you're at that point where you're credible, and then you can start putting in these applications. And like I said, this whole process is optional, because some of us, we want to remain private and we don't want to pull our trust into the public, but some of us want to create a trust that we are intentionally using it for public purposes. So whatever your situation is, we just go by that. I do both.
Oh, okay.
So you should do both too, Nancy.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Right. Tap into 2 different credit profiles,
Right.
personal and business.
Right. I hear you. And plus the videos we have, I know we have lifetime access to the course and the videos, and we also have lifetime to this as well, to these recordings.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and then you let me know if you have any questions, okay? You just,
Yes.
you book a call and
Absolutely.
we go through it. I'm here for you.
Yeah, and I booked the call on the 10th of this month, and I thought that call was gonna be for this.
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
know.
okay, but it's gonna be one-on-one, and I see this. I'm like, oh, it's a group thing. I didn't even know.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I transitioned. I was talking to my team and they was like, Christina, you got to go to group. I said, okay. And they love it. They
It's
love
good. It's
group.
good. Yeah, because the questions I've heard here, I'm like, oh, that's a good one. That's a good question.
Right. You guys are
Very.
feeding on each other.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
great.
Mhm. So thank you.
You're welcome, Nancy. Thank you for asking that good question.
No problem.
All right. Do I have any other questions about anything that we have went over today? We applied for our EIN. So we applied for our second EIN today. We did our board meeting for all three of our trusts, our business, private, family, and ministry. And then we also established a credit profile for our business trust where we're going to be building trust corporate credit. So do I have any questions? Because I want to let you guys out on time.
Yes, I do.
I don't know why you laughing, Keisha. I'm ready.
So it looks like we're gonna need Dimitri after all for the business website and email.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Okay, so that's
Definitely.
one. So that's definitely got to look into getting the business website and email. So you definitely need to have that for the trust.
Yes.
And then the other question I had was, can you do all these like net 30 applications at the same time, or
Yeah.
do we need to do it separately?
No, you can do them at the same time. So it's not like your personal where you where they really care about the inquiries and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So you can do them, as they come. So it depends on you, but yeah, you can do them simultaneously. So what I'm going to do is tonight I'm going to have Aya email you guys. Hopefully she can get it done tonight. If not, please give her some grace and she'll send it to you guys tomorrow. But I'm going to have her send you guys a list of the top 10 net 30 accounts that I recommend that will get you your paydex score within I don't want to say within 30 days, but around that 30-day mark.
Okay. And when they ask, when you're filling out that application, one of the things, with personal, they're going to ask about income. So we're doing this for the trust. So what income are we going to place? Our own personal income for, our jobs or businesses?
That's a really good
question.
That's a really good question, Keisha. And so one thing that I love about business is that you can go by projected income. So, girlfriend, what is your projected income? What do you think your business is going to be doing?
Oh, over 500,000.
That sounds like it to me, hunty. That sounds like it, okay? It sounds like 500,000. It sounds like 250. It sounds like $1 million. That's what it sounds like. That's what my projected income is. And so when you're applying for lines of credit and loans, it's the same thing. What is your projected income for your business?
Okay. That's all my questions. Thank you.
Yes, you're a delight. Do I have any final questions? Stephanie, do you have a question? Do I have any final
Yes.
Okay, what's up?
Okay, so I'm in the middle of this, all like opening all these trusts and then also doing Dion's like DSR her course with the citizenship stuff, right? So I don't want to use my social like at all anymore. That plus I did a bankruptcy earlier this year, so I just want to leave that whole thing behind. So I tried to get a sole proprietor and it said that I couldn't do it online. So my other options are faxing and mail. So when I called, they couldn't give me a reason why over the phone. So I'm gonna fax, but my if I have so I hold on please 1 sec. So today I did I didn't see your book. Give me a second. So I did get an EIN today with a business trust. But so okay, on my trust, I'm the first trustee, right? And any other trustee that I put in there has the same right, but the first trustee can remove another trustee, right? So if I make my sister a trustee, that means that she can get an EIN for the trust as well, right?
Again.
So, okay, so it doesn't, because like, I don't know, my social is like not working at all with the IRS. They don't like me or something. So,
Yeah,
so I will just
any
like,
trustee. Yeah, any trustee, any grantor, any beneficiary can apply for an EIN for the trust. So yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with your stuff.
I'm wondering if it
Um,
matters or not that I've not filed my taxes this year.
I don't think that matters. But you might have to do it manually by, printing out the paper, filling it out and submitting it.
Okay. And then I also read that once like the third party, like if I opened any other EIN with my sole proprietor EIN, whenever I get that, that is considered a Nyla, one sec. That's considered a third party, and those cannot be done online. They have to be done by fax or mail, I believe I read. Is that
Yeah, that can't be done online either. Yeah.
okay? Um Okay, well, I guess that was just my question, is if it mattered if I used my sister, because she does not care about concealing her social.
Yeah, you could definitely use her if she's in the trust.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Welcome. Hey,
Also, just
Rachel.
before you close, if you have any ideas, like me and my family, like we're all just still W-2 employees. And so once we do get like the business credit going, like, I mean, I know there's a million businesses in the world, right? But like, what do you think is a good fast running pace, something to start with from like ground zero?
An online business is like the easiest thing to start because you don't have any overhead. So like I would tell you guys to make like start creating ebooks and stuff, start selling stuff online, like even digital products. Like you create something one time and you get paid forever for the rest of your life. So create an ebook, turn it into an audio book, create a course, something like that. Even other digital, products where you can put it on Amazon. That's like really, really, really easy. And you can get your foot in the door. You can start making money day one, especially if you do like pre-sales and stuff. And like I said, there's no overhead. It's not like you have to get a brick and mortar. It's not like you need employees or anything like that. So that's something that you can start making money day one.
Okay, thank you.
You're so welcome, Stephanie. Hey, Ruth.
Hey, Christina.
How are you?
Petting yourself?
I'm doing splendid.
Good. My question, will we be going over quitclaim deeds tomorrow?
Yes, ma'am. You ready for it?
I am. I'm excited.
Okay, yeah, we're going. Yeah, tomorrow we're doing transferring assets, so we're going through quitclaim deeds tomorrow. Yes.
Okay. And my second,
And we're also going to be going over the insurance because that deals with assets as well. So we'll be going through infinite banking as well.
okay, thank you. And my second question is, do you suggest we have at least a landing website page for each of our trusts?
So no. I just recommend whichever one you're going to pull into the public, right? So like if you're like you don't need a landing page for your family trust, right? So for example, if you have your ministry trust and you're actually going to run it like a ministry or a faith-based organization where you're going to be getting donations from the public, where you're going to be doing philanthropic endeavors, things like that, then yes, you want a website, .org or something like that, to where you are, seen online, especially if you want to get grants too, because you can qualify for nonprofit grants because you're a nonprofit. So that's one. The business trust, if you are, utilizing it, like we said, and you're utilizing it for the credit, then yes, get a landing page so that you can start getting these lines of credit and these loans, and they look at it. Trust me, they do. Like, and it has to be in alignment too. Like I remember one time I got denied for a loan. It was like what, $25,000, because my website wasn't the name of my business. So I had gave them kind of like a link tree, and it was my name, and it wasn't the name of my business. And so just because of the website, I got denied. So yes, if you're aiming for that, please have all your ducks in a row. You don't want to be in that situation where everything checks out but the website.
Okay, thank you so much for your time.
You're so welcome, Ruth. Thank you for being here. Thank you for everyone for being here tonight. Wait, I do have a question from Jen. She said, will the recording be sent tomorrow? Thanks. So I'm going to see if Aya is available to send it tonight. I am going to upload it and have the links for you all. So I will see if she can upload it tonight. And awesome, net 30. Perfect. So thank you everyone for being here tonight, for being consistent and dedicated to creating generational wealth and to protecting your assets and to setting up your trust and to actually, learning this information. Like, you guys are phenomenal, and I'm happy to be in this place, in this space with you. If you have any questions, please put it in the Facebook group. Me and Aya will be able to answer your questions, as they come in. And then tomorrow is our last day, and we are going to be going over asset protection as far as transferring your assets into the trust. So we will be going over the quitclaim deeds and doing amendments for your LLC and changing the ownership of your insurance policies and infinite banking. Okay, so you will receive an email from Aya tomorrow with all the details and resources that you are going to need for tomorrow's call. Okay, so I will see you guys tomorrow. Good night, sweet dreams, and be blessed, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank
Right,
you.
good night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good
Bye-bye.
night.
Night, thank you.
Great call. Great call.